BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed. Ahoy, hoy. Welcome, ladies and gents, to episode 505 of BRB UK. I am Dan. I'm back this week. I'm one of your hosts. Hello. 505.
Games.
Yes, don't football me, Tim. I know that's a football reference.
No, it's a
No,
games
505
thing.
games.
505 games.
No,
they
is,
make
but also
games.
555.
We like games.
They do. Yeah, it's true, actually. I've had a long day at work and my brain isn't working. Tim has the world's worst superhero in close proximity to him, don't you, Tim? It's Kitchen Man.
Kitchen
you can
Man.
hear the distant
Kitchen
sounds
Man.
of Kitchen Man in the background.
Kitchen Man.
Kitchen
He
Man
can do
does
anything
whatever a
can.
kitchen can,
Kitchen
but
can.
he's the place where you hang out at parties if you don't like the loud music.
I have a question. Does he have soft close functionality?
Yep.
He does. Wow.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Nice. There's also Coleman. Say hello, Coleman.
Oh, I'm here too. Hi!
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm aching from work.
You're aching from work.
It's been a very stressful week.
Right.
Yeah,
has there been? Has the fuel crisis hit the petrol station finally? Is that what it is?
Oh, no, we're making hand over fist. Yeah, I'm rolling in the dough.
Oh, right, is that it? You've just thrown your back out, lifting all the bags of money.
That's exactly what happened.
Yes, because you completely work in a petrol station and not for some super secret.
I thought you said
government agency.
supermarket for a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't debase you in such ways.
What's wrong with working in a supermarket? I used to work in a supermarket.
You've always struck me more as a Harrods deli counter kind of guy.
Ooh, never worked in a deli counter. That sounds fun. A bit like in The Wrestler. The Wrestler, good film.
I haven't seen it.
I like that film.
I know the film.
Oh, it's very
I haven't
good, Tim.
watched
You
it.
should watch it.
I've
Watch
heard.
it. It's a good film.
I think you've
Yeah.
told me
It's
more
good.
than once.
Mickey
Probably.
Rourke, very good in it. You
Yeah.
should watch it, Tim.
Mhm,
Hey, Tim, do you know what
You
you
should
should
watch
watch?
Tim. You should watch The Wrestler, Tim.
You should watch the rest of Tim, mate.
Tim, have you seen The Wrestler?
If you two want to
I haven't seen
tell
The
Tim
Wrestler,
to buck
Tim,
his, buck his ideas up, do say hello on the Discord. There's a link in the show notes. And you should go, Tim, watch The Wrestler! And I should stop doing that because I pinked my audio. I'm sorry, Coleman.
We get the
Sorry,
audio.
future
Give me a
Coleman.
heart attack.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So, anyway, we have a busy week this week because things are happening in Germany. And by things happening in Germany, I mean, it's Gamescom eingang, yeah? So,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, super. And so we're going to get to that in a minute, but we probably just ought to quickly do a whistle-stop tour of stuff we done played this week. So I think we all done played the same thing, and I done played things that you
Yay.
played last week.
Yeah.
So should we talk
Yeah.
about the thing we've all done played that I
Yeah,
very kindly got festooned with a gratis code for. So that is Cursed to Golf.
Do you want to convert that last sentence into English for the rest of our... Yeah.
Dan got sent codes.
Got sent code, didn't I?
Got sent code.
For PS5.
Play it on PS5. I play it on Switch.
PS5 or PS4.
I've been playing it on Switch.
So anyway, if you have been affected by the accent in this here podcast, please send an email
Aye.
to Tim at. Yes. So, Chavs, what do you think? So, Cursed to Golf it's like Stickman Golf meets roguelite meets 16-bit cutesy goodness meets John Brady.
Oh, because Scottish. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the idea of this is, I spoke about this, but it's come up a couple of times because they keep showing previews, and I've been really looking forward to this. And from everyone that's spoken about this, playing it in preview on PC, they've gone, wow, this is really good for a handheld. Playing it on my Steam Deck. And I've gone, oh man, I wish I had a Steam Deck to play Cursed to Golf. Well, but it's come to Nintendo Switch, so just as good for me. I'm very happy with that. And the idea from the creator was to make a game that feels like a Nintendo game that never came out on a Nintendo system, as in like the SNES. And mission accomplished, because this does feel like a very well polished SNES game and very enjoyable on the handheld. This has got me through many a commute and tube strike, having to take the bus to work.
I thought it's got me through many a difficult moment on the toilet. It's helped me navigate the old arse canal.
Mr. Coleman, I have a question, though. Mr. Coleman, I have a question. Did you have the same problem that I encountered that stopped me playing quite as much of this game as I would have done otherwise? The Switch
because I did.
code had a bug.
It was a tan
basically.
buggy at the beginning.
Has been patched on Monday, but there was a known bug where the first boss would just crash the game, basically. And I had that problem
I didn't have
numerous
that.
times. Yeah.
No, my issue was I was playing, and then I was on the last hole, and on the hole, and as I putted the ball, it then completely froze the game on the victory screen, and then I had to power down, come back, started the whole level again.
Oh.
But it was the day that the patch came out, so this happened on Monday. As the patch came out, and it does this thing on the Switch where it goes, oh, it's downloaded an update. Do you want to update or do you want to carry on? It's like, no, I'll finish this level and then I'll update. And
look where that got you.
Yeah, did the update. There doesn't seem to be a problem now. But I really like this game, although it is bloody hard.
It is flipping hard. I mean, if
slightly unforgiving.
Anything. So the setup is you are an amazing golfer.
Oh, thanks, man.
I know. And the game starts, and you're about to play and finish off the last shot in the best tournament you've ever played. And you are truly going to be the greatest of all time. But golf plus thunderstorms and lightning, it's not a happy set of bedfellows.
No.
You're about to picture the scene. You're about to swing for the most amazing chip onto the green imaginable, and lightning strikes. Quite literally, you get fried, you die, you end up in purgatory, where you're charged with being the best undead golfer. And only if you are the best undead golfer will you escape from golfing purgatory. And that's pretty much set up of the game.
But you're forgetting, Dan, it's not just purgatory. It's specifically purgatory for golfers.
Yes.
Golf purgatory.
Yes. Golf purgatory.
I love the idea that there's a purgatory based on your professional skill.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to data science purgatory. That's going to be marvelous. That's going to be quite possibly the most tedious thing imaginable.
Printer purgatory does not sound like fun. It's not a place I want to be.
No, it doesn't.
Constant paper jams.
Printer purgatory. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought you said Prince of Purgatory, and I thought it was going to be a very, very
does sound like
spin-off.
Ubisoft's Prince of Purgatory. That's got more likeliness to come out than the actual reboot.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So the tutorial has you trying to learn the ropes of what undead golf looks like, courtesy of a slightly dead Scotsman,
John Brady.
John Brady.
Yep.
Looks just like him.
It does, just like him, except with apart from the beard and the fact that he's actually tall.
Don't pick on wee little John.
Oh well. I know I shouldn't, but
he's just a lad. He's just a wee boy, Dan.
He's a wee laddie. Why you didn't need to pick on John Brady?
Why is there so much rubbish all over the streets? It's a streak.
Oof, that accent's going places, mate, and it's not Scotland.
That
accent. So the basic setup is much like many roguelites. You get random modifiers at the beginning of every run, which can give you extra shots or extra skills for your ball, allow it to stop in midair and drop down, or
extra skills for your balls.
Extra skills for your balls.
That's what we like. Game of the year.
But I did find the kind of the intro a bit weird, that it introduces some fairly significant mechanics like spin on the ball pretty much as you're done. It goes, oh yeah, by the way, you know how much of a pain in the backside some of those shots were? Actually, you can spin the ball. We should have told you that before, soz.
Yeah, I think it's now after like the second time you lose, they tell you how to do the spins. Like, could you not have done that at the start? That's really handy.
Yeah, it's really, really flipping helpful. But I mean, I really enjoy it. I mean, it's kind of like the branching path, like many a roguelite, and where you're choosing which order of the stages you want to go through. But if anything, I have to admit, I kind of found each hole lasted just a little bit too long if you're not playing on a. So I'm playing on PS5,
Yeah.
so I couldn't like turn it off and just wander away and just temporarily pause. It was actually felt like a bit of a mission, and that's why I think this game's probably best enjoyed on a handheld, be it a Steam Deck, be it a Nintendo Switch or what have you.
It's a very good second screen game because you don't have to be, it's kind of turn-based in, so much as golf is anyway. But you can take your time planning a shot.
Golf is very turn-based.
Well, yeah. But yeah, like as you said, it entirely suits the handheld. I really like the kind of the presentation of the game, the art style, the humor. It all adds layers of depth to the enjoyment of the game as well. Like the mechanic of it's almost like a puzzle platformer with a golf centered around a golf mechanic, and you're kind of having to get across different platforms and get from one side to the other. The thing I found a bit, though, is not always the length of the holes, because that was probably less of a problem for me on the second screen. But sometimes it's almost impossible. You're just laughing at stuff. Anyway, but it's almost impossible to know which way to go through the course on some of the holes, basically. It's hard to know.
But I kind of quite enjoyed that puzzle solving thing where there was like the obvious routes and not so obvious routes. And it's like, well, do I risk doing this shot, or do I play the longer game that's a bit safer, or do I take a risk? And I kind of quite like that. But if anything, I actually found that the roguelike mechanics felt a bit shoehorned in on this game, because it's not really that roguelite-y.
Yeah, it didn't really
It's like, here's some random modifiers.
The thing I think is a bit different. Like, I found, especially as I ended up playing the first boss more times than I should have done, or could have done possibly, it did mean that I kind of found that I needed to minimize the amount of
long holes.
Cards action cards I was playing in the normal holes and save them up for the boss. Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I didn't mind the way it does it. It also, at some point, starts giving you checkpoints so that you don't have to go all the way to the start of the game to play through. I don't know how that goes if you get multiple checkpoints as you get further through the game. I've just made it to the Oasis course, so I'm only on the second boss, basically. I don't know how much further.
I'm still on the Blur course. Dan's on Pulp.
No, I actually menswear. Actually, I got a bit lost in a bit of a backwater of 90s Britpop golf courses.
Right.
That is a deep cut into 90s Britpop, right?
It's not.
Well, they are. Menswear were a very odd band.
Okay.
Very odd band.
Good.
They didn't let an abject lack of talent get in the way of putting a record out. Let's put it that way.
Yes, I'm very much enjoying this game, and I do like that again because it's on the Switch. It has a decent, because the standby you can do a quick put down pick up type thing. You're not kind of same with quick resume on the other consoles as well. I'm guessing it doesn't mean you have to commit to one. You can play a little bit, go off and do your thing, come back, and it's there ready to go. And it's a perfect game for that. There's not a sort of, where was I with this? Because you can do free roam with the camera and figure out where the hole where the hole is that you're going for. And
you keep on laughing at the word hole.
I know. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
You are a terrible person.
I mean, no one's mentioned the golf club shaft yet, so we're fine.
Solid drive with my wood right into the
I didn't even know Shaft played golf.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it. Who's the man who got all 18 goals and got out of golf purgatory? Shaft! You're damn right.
Goals?
Sorry, holes.
Holes.
You've been laughing every time you said the word for the last 15 minutes, and then you forget it. But yeah, as I said, I've really enjoyed the game. I don't know how long it is overall. I don't know how many bosses there are in the game. That's why I was trying to get you guys to
I'm guessing 18 holes long.
That is true.
That
is true. That is true. But it was like 5 holes to get to the first boss, no? Or was that on the 5th hole that the boss appeared? Trying to work out how many that would be. But yeah, like I really like the way it's set up. I really like the game. I really like playing it. It's really good fun. I like it a lot.
Yes,
Good.
I have to say that whilst I've really enjoyed it on PS5, I have been and I was very lucky, and it was very kind to get provided with the review code. I kind of wish that I had this on a handheld, and I am semi-tempted to pick up on a handheld because I just think it's a much better fit for the game.
I was going to ask if you saw yourself doing a double dip and picking this up on Steam Deck.
I might do if it comes on sale on Steam. I definitely would get it, so I could have some mobile whole goodness.
Okay. Well, that's on all the platforms: Switch, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series and PC with your special Steam Deckiness to it. It's $15.99. Unless you're picking it up on the Switch, you get a £1 Switch tax. $16.99. Curse to Golf.
Shut your mouth.
I think that's a triple recommend, especially if you're going for a handheld.
Yes.
Yes.
But I've also played, and this again, I played this more on like a handheld setting because I played on Steam Deck, and I know you talked about it at length last week. But Cult of the Lamb, man, that's a fun little game, isn't it?
I'm going to give you a little peer behind the curtains on this one. I was meant to be talking about Saints Row this week, but I can't stop playing Cult of the Lamb.
Well, from what I've heard about Saints Row, it's probably you're doing yourself a service. Doing yourself solid there, mate.
Literally saw it on an offer and went, yep, I'll have a copy of that. And then the next day, it was later that day, the reviews came out. I was like, oh.
That's cheeky.
Oh,
damn.
No. Always beware a game with a really last minute review embargo. It's generally my.
Well, it was only because I didn't know it was coming out. I was doing my shopping and they had a big display up for it in the Asda, and they had. I didn't see if it was pre-order or not. I just walked past all the game cases and went, "Oh, is that out now? I'm going to go have a look at that when I get home." And so I did. Saw the offer and picked it up, and well is me. But I have yet to start.
More for you. But Coleman was trying to get.
Have you opened the case?
I installed it.
Fail.
But Coleman was trying to get me to join his cult last week. Are you in a similar frame of mind, Dan? Should I be picking this up?
I've already picked Cult of the Lamb up. It's great.
No, but should I?
It's good fun. It was a little bit buggy around the start, I have to say. But,
right.
Really enjoying it. It's what I always wished Animal Crossing could be, really.
Yeah, it's definitely got, and that's the funny thing as well, because playing through this game, I thought I would be doing more dungeon crawling and less town keeping, because I that stuff just doesn't really interest me at all. And it's completely gone the other way, where I've now maxed out everything in the town, and I've now got to go through and do all the dungeon crawling because I've played so much of this game. I love it.
Yeah, I have to say, I kind of wish some of the self-managing bits of the kind of the town upgrades you could do happened a bit sooner.
Yeah,
and God damn it, it really annoys me when someone starts running their bloody mouth and being a bloody heathen and cursing my good name rather than kowtowing and obeying everything I say. That really annoys me.
Is that in the game or at work?
That's just in real life, generally speaking. Yeah, exactly. It's never.
His missus is getting above her station again.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was facing a butler uprising.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've got to learn.
Yeah, I had that because I've actually I've started my second run through on the game, because the first one I got into a point where my first follower had turned against me, and it's funny when they turn against you, they go really they get red eyes and they're just screaming obscenities to the rest of the town folk about you in their funny little Animal Crossing type ways. And I just got into a point where my town was just sinking, and I went, I think I'm going to start this again now I know what I'm doing. And then I didn't have any problems with anyone turning on me at all. The problem I had was you can set little challenges up where one of your townsfolk will come up to you and go, hey, I would like you, let's play a joke on this person and feed them poop. And if you do it, then you get points for from that townsfolk for doing so. And one of them went, oh, can we invite these people have been cast out from their cult and they should join our cult. Would you let them? So I let two people in, and both of them were non-believers. I was like, oh, damn, I've got to build a prison and stick them in there and put them in stock so I can re-educate them. And I haven't prepared for this. I'm now at the point where my biggest problem is my townsfolk dying of old age. And my first villager, They were my most beloved villager, where I gave them a special necklace when they started, which I didn't read the description, didn't realize it makes them live like twice as long. So they've been with me all the way through. They've been my first in command. Yeah, a pearl one. And you,
Nice.
yeah,
Stay
married
classy,
them.
Coleman.
They've become
Well,
my
you should
spouse.
after doing that on the first date.
Yeah, they become my spouse. Have become my first in command. Like they do all my top missions and stuff. They've been my best member,
Right.
and now they've just died. And I'm a little bit sad about this one.
Yeah, I don't know, because what I tend to do if someone dissents, that is fast track to Sacrifice City for a start. They've got to learn. And if they're about to die, I let them ascend to a higher plane, so I don't have to bury their sorry ass.
I haven't done that. I went the route of if one of them dies and I bury them, then it's like everyone's in a good mood because they've actually had a burial. Then if I have a funeral, they get even much better about it. And then flowers appear on the gravestone and everything. And I've got a nice little grave plot next to the church. And yeah, it's a really very cute, although evil game.
Yeah, I mean, I some of it does feel a bit micromanagey at times. It's kind of like you can be like quite merrily dungeon crawling, and it's like I don't care that someone themselves inside out. I really don't. I can deal with that in a minute. All right.
That's what the outhouses are for.
I know. I do like it. It does make me laugh that the outhouse literally just becomes a mountain of turd if you don't look after it long.
Yeah. Outhouse version 2. That's the that's the godsend.
Electric Portaloo. I'm rather pleased with that joke.
It's pretty good.
I thought so. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm really loving it. It's a good little game to play in short bursts or in longer goes, and yeah, it's got all kinds of fun little bits from all kinds of fun games, and yeah, my only grumble with it, and this might just be because I've largely been playing on my Massive Dick, is that it can be difficult to read some of the attacks coming at you in the dungeon crawly bits, especially if there's a lot of enemies on screen, and like it's like, well, what the hell bloody hit me? And I don't think it does as good a job as it could for making the enemies as easy to see as they could be. I'm not saying that it should make it easy mode, but at the same time, if you can't see anything or where any of the enemies are or what's happening or read their attacks soon enough to either dodge or counter it, can feel a little bit frustrating, but it's a really minor grumble.
I had just one last bit on this. I had a really cool moment in that game where one of my skills is every time I kill an enemy, my attack power goes up, but if I get hit by an enemy, it goes down. And I was having a really cool run where I had a very powerful axe. Plus, I kept getting all the right tarot cards to make the power go up. Plus, my power was going up from killing enemies. Plus, I'd not managed to get hit once in my run through. And my secondary power was freezing bosses in place. Enemies in place. So when I came up to the boss, I literally froze him, took one swing, and he was gone. And then I got a trophy. That was the best run I've ever had. That was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really good game.
I do find though that compared to other roguelites, like say Dead Cells for example, I found that the runs I have seem to be less consistent. Like Dead Cells, generally,
you should see a doctor about that. Dan.
I should really. All I am one.
Get some Imodium.
Yes, and I do find that the runs can be very inconsistent,
smelly,
more so than other roguelites, depending on what gear you get given at the beginning. You can just have really bad luck of the draw, and it can almost feel a bit unrecoverable some runs.
Brown trousers.
Yes, brown trousers. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't sneeze when you got the trots.
Yeah. This is genuinely one of my favorite games to come out this year.
I'm really loving it. Really good.
Call the Lamb, once again, that is available on all the platforms and Mac. That is $19.99 unless you're getting it on the Switch. £2.50 tax, $22.49 on the Switch.
Oh, it's a Nintendo type solution. I love those solutions.
Yeah, unfortunately as well, the dip in frame rate apparently is quite affecting when it comes to dungeon crawling. So you want to be playing that on something a bit beefier.
Colt the beef.
Yeah.
Dan, I don't know how much you listened to last week's episode. I know you don't always tend to, but if you didn't, Coleman and I were trying to convince you
throw
that.
under the bus.
Well, yeah, but I was just saying that Coleman and I would definitely try and convince you to buy Rollerdrome because that's a really cool game. I really like that.
It's a great game. It's not as fun as Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, you see, I'm
Fine,
kind of like
but
I'm maxed
that's a
out
high
with
bar,
new stuff
maybe.
to get my head round.
I still
That's
recommend
fine.
Rollerdrome. It's not
New
unlike other
Destiny
things, but yeah.
season, kind of stuck into that. It's got
There's
pirates
that.
in it.
Yeah. And they're retooling it for new beginners again.
Yeah, they are. To make
Yeah.
it even slightly less confusing, but still really quite confusing. If you look
But
at
we
it
will get
objectively.
to that in a moment.
Yeah, we will.
But yeah, Rollerdrome, I did start playing it and I'm enjoying it now too, Tim. You'll be
It's got a
pleased
cool
to know.
art style, I thought.
Yeah, really cool. It's got a very kind of
Yeah.
80s comic aesthetic that I very much enjoy.
The one thing I also didn't mention last week when we were talking about it is it's the Ollie devs as well. So they definitely know what they're
Yes.
doing in terms of skateboarding games. And they've just added a very fun shooting mechanic to that as well, basically. So, yeah.
I will
Sweet.
say as well, I've been mostly playing this on my mobile phone using my Razer Kishi version 2.
Oh, is there a second one?
Yeah, got an upgrade. That was the
I
picture I
just-
sent you the other day, where you said the middle of my Switch was missing.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
Yeah,
I was having a really bad day at work. I didn't mean to be as snarky as it came out, but
that's fine.
yeah.
I'm really enjoying my V2. There's
What is the difference?
So pros and cons. It's rather than being a fold away form factor, it's more like a like the backbone type system where
Okay,
it's two controllers and then a plank in between them that extends.
a plank.
Yeah. The reason I got this is because it fits much larger phones, and to use the
Right.
Razer Kishi, I had to take all the rubber inserts out of it so my phone would fit in there.
Right.
But I couldn't fit it in with the case on my phone as well, and I didn't like taking that off and
that's
putting it
great,
on,
yeah.
on tube and stuff. So I got the bigger one. That all fits now. Much happy with that. They've replaced, but I do miss the folding factor. I do like that because you can just whip it in your pocket when you're getting off the tube and then put it away later. This one, because it's got the split in the middle, it's not as convenient to have that. It's a bit wider. It pokes out your pocket. It aesthetically, it looks like two Joy-Cons with a bracket in the middle, and they've gone so far as they've replaced the thumbsticks, which I'm not too keen on. They've replaced them for literally Joy-Con style thumbsticks, whereas the previous
Right.
ones they were more concave, like normal.
They were decent sticks.
Yeah, they were
Okay.
like Xbox sticks, and now they're Nintendo sticks. But they're still good. They're clickable sticks. It all works. The
Okay.
plus side to it is they've removed the membrane buttons with more clicky style buttons, which are
Okay.
that's becoming the bigger thing for controllers lately. Is trying to make them like clicky keyboard type things. That is very satisfying and good to play with. But yeah, it's definitely got more of a Nintendo aesthetic this time around rather than an Xbox aesthetic.
I mean, just looking at it though, because one of the things about the previous ones you said it was kind of like the middle of it was collapsible, whereas this you can only close it so far. Isn't that just a bit of a disaster waiting to happen if you slung this in a bag? Isn't it going to run the risk of snapping in half?
Not for me, because my bag's got a little section where it perfectly fits in and where the Razer Kishi
I wouldn't
used to go.
doubt anything else.
Yeah.
For you, Coleman.
A bit of a tech nut with stuff like that. So yeah, it's it's definitely more inconvenient than the previous one, but I think with the previous one there were complaints of, because it's a floppy bit in between the two controllers to extend, there is possibility of it breaking. There is parts snapping inside. So I think it's more so to eliminate that than to go, we've copied Backbone. But yeah,
Yes.
I really like it. I recommend it. But either of them, if you can get a Razer Kishi, if you're after a controller, then go for the first one. Especially, I mean, the first one has now gone down in tremendously in price. They were like £120 when they first came out. They're about 70 now. And if you want a second-hand one, if you want to go to eBay and buy my one, they go for about 50 now. So
You can actually get them on sale on Razer.com for 55 quid.
there you go. For brand new, that's pretty damn good. But yeah, I really, really like the V2. I'm going to sell my my version 1 because of that, but I recommend either one of those.
I just want to get a really tiny console that fits in there. I want like a little Tetris machine that just fits in there as well.
I'm thinking
I'm
of
holding
taking...
I'm holding my Kishi up to the camera.
Yes, you can't see. I should have taken mine up to hold it up to the camera, but I left it downstairs. I'm tempted because I've got an old Samsung Galaxy that I'm not using anymore, and I keep telling myself I'm just going to turn this into a little emulation machine and keep that permanently inside the Kishi rather than use my phone for gaming.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Sounds fun. That is the games we done played this week. Shall we talk about topics, and specifically the big topic?
Oh, strap in, kids.
It's Gamescom 2022.
Yaha.
We're back to live events. We're back to a big live Gamescom, and we're having less of the people in front of webcams stealing our bit and doing more in-person conferences now. So we've all been checking out Opening Night Live and a bit of the others as well. I thought we were going to be covering the Xbox stream and then realized it was a 6-hour-long stream where they weren't announcing anything new, and we were doing more deep dives into existing and upcoming games.
It's just Phil Spencer doing a 5.5-hour monologue about how much he loves Battletoads.
I thought I could leave it on in the background while I was working, and it's done in the middle of the show floor, and all you can hear is Forza for the first hour. All I can hear is going on in the background. I can't listen to this, unfortunately. There's only so much you can gate out of your audio. But yes, we've watched Gamescom Opening Night Live. We've watched the Future Games. Was it Future Games show, the second one?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
I wrote down Xbox by accident because I was doing one and forgot to change it to the other. But we can't go through the whole thing because there are a lot of games to go through. So we've marked some ones on the agenda, even though I've painstakingly written about absolutely everything that was mentioned.
I know. Thank you, Coleman.
That's a way of stretching out a live stream. The 2-hour live stream becomes like 4 because you're constantly pausing and writing things down.
God damn it.
Yes. But I will kick us off. We'll go in the order that we've listed them out. We've got Everywhere, which was the kind of start off to the show. This is from the studio Build a Rocket Boy, which is one of the initial leads over at Rockstar, who was working on, I think it was, took over from Grand Theft Auto from 3 to 5.
Yep.
And then since has gone off to form their own studio, made a load of money doing that to get that started.
A nice bit of speculative investing with nothing really to show for it. So that's how you make the smart money, kids.
Yeah, make your money on your name. It's not what you know, it's who you know, I guess. Or both, really, in this case.
Well, venture capital investment, basically,
unfortunately, it turns out neither Tim nor Coleman are particularly minted. So, I've been slightly boned by
all
that.
Can develop games.
Yeah. So I'm out a lot. I couldn't. This just seemed like a bit of a stream of consciousness of video game stuff.
I
couldn't really work out what the heck was really about.
Are you remaking PlayStation Home? Are you remaking Dreams?
Yeah, it was a bit.
Or are you remaking something else that looks a bit like, I don't know. I couldn't quite work it out.
I've heard some theories about this, and the leading one seems to be because when the trailer starts off, it looks it kind of looks like there's a driving simulator, like an arcadey driving simulator, and then it cuts into more like a Fortnite type cartoony battle royale. Yeah. And then it cuts into more a realistic type third person thing going on. And they end even with the kind of, and I know there was a job posting for Build a Rocket Boy where they were talking about blockchain, crypto, NFT, something or other. And a lot of people went, oh my God, this is a crypto game, forget it. And they've come out since and not denied and not admitted. They just said, look, we're exploring technologies. This game is already in development. From what I've heard,
it's a very non-committal answer.
I know.
It's like, we'll do it again. We're blatantly going to bleed you dry with things, but
The common theory seems to be, because even the Everywhere logo seems to be very kind of reminiscent of the blockchain logo. A lot of people think it's a game that is kind of aping on a meta Second Life type thing where you're living in a world, then jumping into games. And that intrigues me. If it is an NFT game, then I'm not too bothered. If they have taken crypto NFTs and that kind of, well, if they take them, because I've said before, if you can take that technology and use it in an interesting way, I want to see what that is. If you're just going, we're going to give you, you can have this weapon and use it in this game and use it in this game. That's not new and original. That's something you've done initially. It's called Ubisoft Club.
Yeah, but the only people I've seen claim that can be done are people that clearly don't know what they're talking about. And everyone that I know that knows what they're talking about says that can't be done. So I'm very skeptical that NFTs can have any positive impact on gaming, basically.
I think the cynic on me looks at... I think the cynic in me looks at this game and just goes, "Yep, that's going to be a free-to-play nightmare."
Yeah, well, again, I'm not. We don't know it is a crypto game. Yeah. That is just from one tweet that went, by the way, NFTs. Rah, rah, rah. I'm not saying it is. I don't think it is. But if it was, I'd be interested to see what they did with it. Again, I want to see how the technology is used. Just don't like where it's going.
Yeah. But if it's got any sense, then probably not. But PlayStation Home 2, with driving, I'm down for that. Let's go.
Let's go.
What did you think of the idea of a Dune survival MMO, Dune Awakening?
Well, I kind of quite like the idea of it. It's just very difficult to tell what it would be like from a CG trailer.
Yeah, they didn't show much gameplay. Thought. But also, Dune, I was like, oh, cool. There's quite a few interesting Dune-looking games. And then they said... MMO, and I was like,
nice shoes.
Oh, not for Tim then, thanks.
Is it Dune or is it June?
June,
I
thought.
Dune or June?
June.
Sand Dune? Sand Dune.
Sand Dune.
Sand
Sorry,
in
it's a little
June.
Mr. Sunday bit.
Not July.
Some of our listeners will get the reference. It's fine. Anyway, yes, Dune Awakening. Dune Awakening.
Yeah.
That is coming from Funcom, who are the guys behind the Conan MMO, which a lot of people really like those MMOs. I find they're a bit more hardcore MMO than I particularly like to dip my toe into. However, the world of Dune is more appealing to me than the world of Conan the Barbarian. So I'd be interested to see what comes from this.
And you could see how there's just like the world of Dune.
Or June.
Yes.
GIF.
Is kind of nicely set up GIF. Is nicely set up for kind of all these rival houses, and presumably you join up with one, and there's kind of faction wars, but also
get eaten by a sandworm,
like fighting back against the word. Sandworms eating your face.
Yeah,
all that kind of thing. So
where's the Tremors MMO?
I'd play that.
Yeah. So, but I think it'd be quite.
That'll be a
4v1.
Interesting.
That'd be a good.
That'll be a 4v1
game.
Multiplayer survival thing.
Yeah,
Tremors. Bet you.
Thing.
Yeah. Well, that seems to be the trend lately, and we'll get onto that in a minute. Dan, you seem intrigued by the PlayStation DualSense Edge controller.
Yeah,
Edgelord controller.
Me,
Edgelord controller.
I love being an edge lord. That's
why you do that thing with your hair.
I know, yeah, exactly. Like I am, just this bit here, right there.
He's an edgelord, but he's got older.
Yeah, exactly. An edgelord with a receding hairline. We're gonna have that rather depressing skullet. Is the look I'm going to be going for eventually. Yes. No, I just think there's, again, like many things with Gamescom, absolutely no indication of the price when it's coming out, yada, yada, yada. But this is the oft-anticipated and, dare I say, inevitable answer to Xbox's Elite Series controllers.
Yeah.
Where, essentially, it's a souped-up DualSense, but what you're getting extra in it is that you're able to... adjust the depth of the triggers so that if you just want a short trigger pull, like for a shooter, you can do that, or a longer trigger pull when you want to, like, say, in a racing game where fine throttle control might be useful. There's also buttons around the back which you can replace with either it look like a little fin or little paddles.
They flappy paddles
compared to the Xbox Elite.
Little flappy paddles.
I love those flappy paddles.
Love a flappy paddle.
But what I think's a really good thing, because one of the things I think we've all heard about is the scourge of stick drifts.
Yeah.
It's got a nice solution to it where you can actually swap out not only the actual kind of pads on the sticks themselves, like you can with the Xbox, where you can have a concave, convex, knurled if you want, bit of rubberage, vulcanized, ribbed for her pleasure. All of those are options. You can actually switch out the whole controller module. So that would be, let's say you were unlucky enough to get some stick drift, you could just replace the controller module rather than the whole controller. I really like that from a repairability point of view. But it might mean that there are kind of slot in, slot out upgrades you could do on the controller too. Like one of the things for the Steam Deck is that has like essentially the same controller modules as most Xbox or PlayStation controllers, but you can actually get replacement parts where rather than use two resistors is essentially how it, or potentiometers, which is how it senses the X and Y position of the stick, actually uses something called a Hall effect sensor, which is zero contacts, therefore the stick never wears out, you never get stick drift, and it would be interesting to see if that's where Sony go for like a premium joystick module. I think it's a really interesting bit of kit. I bet you it's going to be more money than is reasonable to ask someone.
Well, considering that the DualSense, they are RP at what, 70, 65, something like that?
Yeah, it's going to be 180, I reckon.
Yeah, 180. I was thinking like 130, 120, around about there.
Well,
the 180
Elite
sounds...
but it's Sony.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're just about to put the price of the PS5 up. By the way, bad luck if you've not got a PS5.
In the
they're
UK
about to put the price
and
up.
other regions,
What's it gone to?
£30 price increase, they said. Apparently. That's what I've seen people talking about today.
That's just under half a first-party PlayStation game.
To be fair, you get more than a half a first-party PlayStation game with your PlayStation 5, but in Astro's Playroom thing. But the one thing that I also thought about this that was interesting with the DualSense control, the DualSense Edge, is that, am I correct in saying that the Pro versions on Xbox are actually not manufactured by Xbox? They're manufactured by Scuff, was it? Or someone else?
No.
Or is that a different alternative?
There are endorsed Scuff ones that they make, but the actual Xbox ones are
in-house
Microsoft manufactured.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
To the best of my knowledge.
Okay, right, fine, yep. All good.
Moving on. The more I see about Callisto Protocol, a game I had no interest in at all when they first announced it, the more I am interested and want to be playing. So why
are you now more interested?
I don't know. I've never played Dead Space, but I...
there we go.
I played a iPad version of Dead Space, I think is the most I've played of Dead Space, and I've watched people play Dead Space. That was actually a really good mobile port of Dead Space. I liked the way there wasn't a HUD telling you what to do, and you had like the ammo and health and stuff indicated on your gun and your back and all that stuff. I like I like the idea of playing Event Horizon, the video game, and these are from the guys that worked on Dead Space, and everyone seemed to like Dead Space so much, and they're trying to improve on the formula, whereas EA is just doing a reboot of Dead Space. The one thing I didn't like about this reveal is they kind of went, hey, you remember, because, I really love Jedi Fallen Order, and they went, that sliding bit that everyone seemed to not like, let's do that.
Yeah. A little bit.
I mean, you can do that and not make it as horrible, possibly, but it looks really good. Definitely out Dead Spacing Dead Space. I liked all three Dead Space games. I liked the third more than other people did because I quite liked the co-op element of it. But I'm, as you said, I wasn't that interested, but having seen it and gone, this could be an interesting leap forward from Dead Space in the same way that Dead Space was an interesting leap forward in itself at the time, basically.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to tell how much of a leap forward it will be based on what they've shown so far, though.
Yeah, I like the new mechanic, which is blatantly stolen from Resident Evil 5, but the idea of if you wound an enemy then and don't kill them quick enough, then that wound will then spawn like a tentacle, and that tentacle will grow and they'll become more powerful and harder to beat. I like that idea. It's a lot like the Ouroboros virus thing. Really good. I'm looking forward to that. December 2nd, that's coming out. It's close.
Now, the only reason I've put a star or my initials next to New Tales of the Borderlands is perhaps this just made me feel like I am getting old.
Okay.
Because I am so past, or I'm so over the sense of humor of Borderlands now, I've decided. Yeah.
Yeah. That was Randy Pitchford. Now, do you remember who Randy Pitchford is now, Dan, now that you've seen him again?
Yeah, I do. Yes,
they actually let him out and on stage. He was on his best behaviour, but still.
Probably not a good idea.
Didn't do any magic tricks.
I didn't. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, okay. It's more Borderlands.
I will tell you that I am very interested in new Tales from the Borderlands, and I'm not a fan of Borderlands. It's because Tales from the Borderlands, which wasn't a Gearbox game. It was published by Gearbox, but it was created by Telltale Games. And it's one of the best Telltale games to exist. And from what I've heard, because I really liked the writing of the game, it was very tight. All the characters were really cool. The aesthetic was really good. It was just a very enjoyable game to play through. From what I've heard, the writing is way much better than regular Borderlands games. The humor isn't as dumb. But this one, it's an interesting take because it's not Telltale Games. This is made in-house now. This is Gearbox Software, I want to say Quebec, and then published by 2K. But they've hired a lot of the writers that worked on the original Tales from the Borderlands from what used to be Telltale Games to work on this. So that's interested me more knowing that, because I really like that game.
That seems like a really good decision, and you can probably get some good input from them on your future games generally anyway, even if they're not doing more Tales of type stuff.
But I recommend giving the first game a go if you've not tried it, Dan. If you like the world of Borderlands but not particularly a fan of the humor, I think you'd find it enjoyable. And because it's in episodes, you can go, I've done this one, I'll leave it for a month and try the next one. You can take that break.
Is that you politely telling me to stop being a grumpy old b*** and maybe have some fun now and again?
Not at all. It's because I care about you and wish for you to play good games, Dan.
Oh, you're the best, Coleman.
Yeah. New Tales from the Borderlands is coming on October the 21st for all the systems.
Yay!
You can play it on your Steam Deck.
Oh, yes. Now, the next up, the surprise I want to talk about. I'm not going to overdo it because I know Tim will have a moment.
Right.
Destiny 2 Lightfall. That's coming out in February. That is the penultimate big expansion in the Destiny 2 saga. Quite like where they're going with it. Interesting, different art style. It's quite nice to be trundling about something that isn't just urban decay, which is, let's face it, Destiny's kind of go-to look at the best of times. That
pre-rendered footage that they showed off, that was very kind of reminiscent of the movie version of Guardians of the Galaxy with all the neons and stuff, which is funny because they're Guardians. But
yes.
Yeah, I like the look of it based on that trailer alone, and then know that I will probably never play this. But apparently they're retooling Destiny 2 for new starts again, so it might be something I can jump back into.
Yeah,
and they're not jettisoning the expansions off anymore. They're
no.
Apparently they went off to Daddy Sony and said, "Can we have more money to run more servers and things, and we can keep all our content?" And they went, "Yeah, you can do that, but you can't have the ones you got rid of. You've lost them now. Stick with what you got."
So that's come out, and I think there's a load of stuff that previously was like in third-party tools, like looking for groups if you want to get a group together to do a raid.
Oh yeah, in-game.
Loadout management, that kind of stuff, that's all being moved in-game, but all that's probably all going to be free, even if you don't buy the expansion, that'll be part of the base game upgrade. Yeah, so really interested to see which direction they take it and how they prepare for weaning me off Destiny, because after this there's only one more expansion, and then I'm just going to have like presumably withdrawal symptoms or something. So yeah, and there was a new season of Destiny launched at the same time, which involves pirates and lots of electricity. So fun to be had for everyone. And Tim, don't worry, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to bore you, okay? Also,
Destiny put into Fortnite.
It's far too late for that, Dan.
Don't. A little bit of me died inside.
Yeah, I know, but Dan, Cade 6, he's back. He's back in Pogs form.
Don't. Just don't. Too soon, Coleman. Too soon.
I thought that might upset you. They apparently recreated one of the PvP areas from Destiny in Fortnite, which apparently doesn't play very well. But I thought it was a cute trailer. I liked it.
It was cute.
They did a loot cave thing. That was fun. They generated so much loot that it covered the screen. That was nice.
I mean, it was. I mean, if anything, I thought the little Guardian characters for Fall Guys was
cute as well.
They were quite cute.
Should we all play some Fortnite with some Destiny characters?
I am about 30 years too old to be going anywhere near Fortnite. Thank you very much. That's
how much I felt that of a battle royale I was playing recently. We'll talk about that next week though. I forgot to mark it. I want to quickly say Sonic Frontiers. I saw that footage and went, totally. I want to take a punt on this. I really want to play Sonic Frontiers. Yes, I will give you the reason I'm not doing that.
Why?
It's coming out the 8th of November.
Why is that?
The exact same day as God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah,
that's a very silly
Sega just tanked this game.
Did they want to bury that game?
So,
was that their idea? That's a terrible
plan. Yeah, maybe it's not good and they just wanted to go hang Sonic out to dry. We'll see.
Did you see the
I guess it means that I'll wait for reviews.
Yeah, did you see the video on Sonic Frontiers that was doing the rounds this week? It was a comparison video, and I'm not sure which older Sonic game it was, but it was a level from the new Frontiers that had seemingly been copied, and just like the exact flow and the like kind of arrangement of like going through loop the loops and everything was completely lifted from another game. And people seemed angry about that. And I was like, surely Sonic fans would be happy with that? Like if I was a fan of Sonic, I would kind of want that and almost expect it. So I don't know why people were angry about it. I didn't quite understand it. But yeah.
I think the last 3 mainline Sonic games all have Green Hill Zone and they all mimic the original Green Hill Zone. So what's your damn
If there
problem?
isn't a Green Hill Zone thing in there, people complain. I saw a Green Hill Zone looking area in the trailer and I was like, oh yeah, cool. That makes sense. That's in there. That makes sense. And I don't, so I don't understand. No. People just seem
to play it, but I'm going to wait.
Kicking that game when it's down.
Something I'm not going to wait for is Return to Monkey Island, which I have spoken about my excitement for. Again, I'm not sold on the graphic style, the art style.
No, I'm really not.
I'm not going to go threaten anyone about it like the internet has done. I don't like it, but I'll still play it because I love that world. I love those characters.
Yeah.
I love that the whole trailer was narrated by Stan the salesman. That was really funny for me.
With his crazy waving arms.
This is going to come out on... This will be on all the consoles and stuff, but it's going to first release on PC and Switch, and that's going to be the 19th of September. I will probably, having played a couple of point and clicks on the Switch now, I will probably pick this up on PC, and if you pre-order it, you get horse
Yeah!
Nice.
And as a jab, the horse light, it's a completely useless item. It will just sit in your inventory. Take that, Tom Howard.
Even better.
How edgy.
I liked this trailer enough that, and having enjoyed playing through Lord Winklebottom Investigates recently, as we talked about on the show, I think I'm going to pick this up. I wasn't really planning to. I think your excitement has possibly rubbed off on me a bit, but generally, I think this is something that, I wasn't keen on, but I'm like, okay, no, I really liked the humor in this. I could see me playing through this. So, I'm probably going to pick this up now.
Yeah, I've reinstalled Monkey Island 3 because I want to do that before the new one comes out. Because apparently this is one that kind of negates all the sequels past 3. But I did 1 and 2 over lockdown. Just see if I can go through them off the top of my head. Yeah, I can. It's really sad. I've beat those games way too many times. 3 is that's one that I did once just to sort of say I did it, but I've never actually played that game more than once, so that'll be good. Lies of P.
I want to be a real boy.
This is something that looks insanely good, which I wasn't bothered about, but it's the reason I think it looks insanely good is because this is essentially it's the steampunk sequel to Bloodborne that is that's not in development, and I really like playing Bloodborne, and if only they re-brought that game out with a higher frame rate.
Also, somehow the story of Pinocchio.
Yeah, the story is going to be absolute gash, but I'm looking forward to the game nonetheless. I think it looks fun.
I was just going to say, this is one of the things that they had on the Microsoft presentation, and they did a deep dive with the developers, who were 2 Korean guys. They seem very nice, a little bit zany, but the
that's what we like.
I was watching it with subtitles on, and the auto subtitling had a very hard time with those 2 gentlemen, unfortunately. But I did quite like it when it referred to the game at one point as Liza Peas, as in Lizapeas. I was like, nice. Liza Peas.
We should
That's what I'm
going to
call it from now on.
Liza Peas.
That's coming out to everything bar Switch next year sometime. What else we got? We got Atlas Fallen. That looks really cool. Yeah. Big open world RPG hacky slashy type thing from Focus.
Again, it's a little difficult to know what exactly it's going to be.
It's intriguing.
I know.
It does look intriguing.
I've completely forgotten what Deck 13's game prior to this one, because they did 2 games. Surged, that was it. It's from the guys who did Surged and Surge 2. I really liked Surge 2. Surged was a bit buggy when I played it, but putting more effort into a Surge type game, I'm well up for that. That's coming to all PC, PS5, and the Xboxes, the family of Xboxes in 2023. Looking forward to that one,
including that slightly creepy old uncle Xbox who sits in the corner.
Yeah.
As well. He's part of the family.
Can I talk a bit about High on Life if we're done with that for the sec as well?
Why didn't you mark it?
Running fairly long.
Because I didn't mark anything, but I'll be fairly quick.
You idiot.
Whose fault is that? Sounds like a you problem, Tim.
Well, that sounds like a me problem, yes. But you two had already marked most of what I was going to talk about anyway, so that was the only one that I just noticed hadn't been marked previously. But yeah, this is the one from Squanch Games with, and I always forget who it is. Is it Roiland? Justin Roiland, and the kind of humor very much in the Rick and Morty style. This is the one where the guns talk to you. And I saw a few people online saying that seems like it would be annoying. I think it looks quite fun. The one thing I didn't like the look of from what they showed a bit of gameplay, and the general gameplay I liked the look of. There was a boss fight that I was like, that does not look like an enjoyable boss fight to play. I hope that's more fun to play than it looks like it, because it doesn't look very fun. But that aside, the comedy and stuff is enough to get me definitely interested in that one, basically.
I mean, is it going to be one of those things where it's like, okay, it's funny, but why do you have to put it in a game?
No, I mean, if it's going to be a case of it's going to be a case of every time I pull out my gun, he's going to be repeating lines that I'm going to get absolutely sick to the back teeth of.
That's the only thing.
That will be a problem. So if they've recorded enough dialogue, which I'm assuming they have, it's Justin Roiland, and there's a load of stuff that he's like secret things that he's working on with this game as well that I'm interested in the sounds of. But the gameplay itself did not enthrall me. What did was pulling out a knife with an Australian accent and the foulest language you've ever heard. I thought that was hilarious. But interestingly enough, this is coming out on PC and the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. And I believe this is going to be a Game Pass launch as well. So I'll be trying it just because it's on Game Pass. I will say I put down 25th of October. They announced after the show it's actually coming out in December now. It's been pushed back.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm knifey. There we go. That's what you got to learn. That's what you got to look forward to.
Quickly gloss over this just because I love it. I'm not going to play this at all, but and talking about the trend I was talking about earlier, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a movie I used to watch a lot as a teenager. It's so dumb and stupid, a horror film. Clowns from outer space that come down and kidnap people and encase them in cotton candy cocoons and suck their blood. That's the film. Anyway, they've gone pretty dumb. Do you know what? We should turn that in. Yeah, we should turn that into a survival multiplayer game, as is the trend at the moment. But instead of being a 1 verse 4 or 1 verse 5, it's a 3 verse 7. So
because of course it is.
Yeah, 7 humans, 3 clowns. I like the idea of that. However, after enjoying the Evil Dead game so much and thinking, I'm going to way get into this, I did not stick with that game, and I don't think I'm going to stick with any of these games. So maybe I should stop trying, even though I'm really tempted to pick up the Ghostbusters one when that comes out soon.
A Ghostbusters one I'll be
anyway.
on, Coleman, so we can Ghostbust together.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're hitting the real glut of when this is now kind of the knock-on effect from after Stranger Things became a thing. It's like, oh, yeah, retro 80s horror stuff. And it's probably about the same length of game development time from when Stranger Things first came out. We're going to see you have at least another 2-3 years of this kind of stuff.
Maybe. I mean, they did actually put
to
Stranger Things
tolerate.
characters in Dead by Daylight, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and then removed it because the license ran out. Anywho, I like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Take that wave with you today. That's coming out on everything next year, early sometime. Shall we jump straight to Dead Island 2? Because that was the big surprise.
Yeah,
I'm more surprised that you didn't mark Gotham Knights on there at all, Mr. Coleman.
I've spoken about it enough. I'm looking forward to it. You know I am.
Okay,
it's probably going to be terrible, but I'm going to love it.
I mean,
I like the look of it.
So Dead Island 2, I'm just amazed this is still actually happening more than anything else.
Yeah, this is something that was announced within or just after the first year of the PlayStation 4. This was a big thing. People like that first trailer was quite hyped on. The guy running, turning into a zombie, and then there's a little cameo from Jack Black and Aaron Paul at the end. And Aaron Paul is not as famous as he was back then because Breaking Bad's not around anymore. But that game's been scrapped. It's been picked up by new studios and restarted, and it's been turned into this uber violent, gory. It's basically turning into what was the other one? The original team went off to make.
I've got very confused.
It's called.
If you told me that Dead Island 2 came out 5 years ago, I would have believed you.
Dying Light.
Dying Light is the one that they went on. But Dying Light 2 is already out now, no?
Yes,
haven't they made
that's
two
true.
games in the time that they haven't made this one?
Techland, they made the first Dying Light. They then went off to Warner Brothers to make what they wanted to make Dead Island to be, and that became Dying Light, and then Dying Light 2. Dead Island 2 looks like they've taken a lot of influence from Dying Light, but kept the comedy of Dead Island and a lot of gore thrown in, and I'm very interested in that.
Someone gets half their head removed.
Yeah.
Just half, just the top bit. Why not?
10% off.
Anatomically, exceptionally difficult to do. And I'm not sure it makes a lot of sense, but it does make you go, wow, that's really disgusting.
I like that they didn't put any really sad melodic trailers to start this off. And then when you play the game, you're like, who do the voodoo? What are we doing here? That game was very perplexing compared to... I mean, they sourced out the trailer to a different studio.
Yeah.
And then they made this really kind of moving, captivating trailer about a girl being a zombie going backwards, and it was all very, very sad. And then you played the game and it was very comedic and bizarre.
Completely different, tone,
I think I marked one thing in the Future Game Show, and it was just Teslagrad 2, because I did not think they were going to make a sequel to Teslagrad, which is a game I really, really like. It's a kind of a game it's a platformer puzzler that relies on you using positive and negative polarity to solve puzzles, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Oh, very good. Good for you, Coleman. Good for you.
Oh, it's going to Switch.
I don't
That's
remember
even
you
better.
talking about that before. I didn't make it all the way to the end of this one. I haven't seen the very end of it. Was System Shock looking good? Because I've liked the look of that in previous incarnations.
Yes, but I feel they show us a trailer for System Shock every year, and at this point, I am past it. I'm just waiting for it to come out. If it reviews well, I will play it.
Right,
just get on and release it already.
It's another one. I think that's also, it was cancelled, scrapped, and handed off to a different studio and started again, and all this kind of stuff. So we'll see how it goes when it actually launches, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll believe it. It's one of those believe it when we see it ones, I think.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's loads of games in the second show and not enough time to go through them all because we're actually out of time.
Yeah, we are. We might, if we get a chance, because there's the Xbox totally excessive 4-day long stream that's happening at the moment. So I'm sure there's stuff we'll have to talk about next time anyway.
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
We might just have too many games to talk about instead.
That is
also true.
So we are going to wrap this show the heck up. But first, we need to remind you of a couple of things. Look at those show notes. Those lovingly crafted show notes that Coleman has put together for you. And you will see in there a couple of links, one of which will take you to our super exciting TeePublic store. That's right, teepublic.com/store/BRB. You too can buy t-shirts and things. That's right, not just t-shirts. Actual things with BRB stuff slapped all over them. So, yeah.
Like Dan's face.
My face on a shirt.
Dan's
or
face.
A mug. My mug on a mug. It's mugception, suckers. That's what you could do. Or my face on a face mask.
Oh, that's too much.
Yeah, too much face on the face. So there we go. So do pop on over teepublic.com/store/BRB. Tim, Tuesday's a Tuesday. Talk to us about Tuesday.
Tuesday is indeed a Tuesday. For anyone that doesn't know, we have a different feature game every Tuesday at the Loading Bar in Dalston, because we do an event called Tabletop Tuesday. And if you play that feature game that evening, you have a chance of winning a copy of the game at the end of the evening. Last week, we had a really cool game come along called Magnificent Bar Stars, all about making crazy cocktails with zany ingredients. It's a really cool looking game.
WD-40 and Wicked is my favourite.
Went down really well with people. We had a cocktail of the evening, because that kind of fit the theme of the game. We had the creators in teaching people. Everything went really well. Everyone really liked it, and it was really good all around. So it was a really nice night. It was a really good atmosphere. It just made for another really good Tabletop Tuesday. This week we've got something a bit different once again. We have basically a digital board game device type thing. It's a kind of table that plays
a computer.
Well, it plays digital board games on a table, basically. I'm trying to just double check the name of this device so that I can plug that fact.
It's called Digital Board Game Table Device.com Ultra
Sounds like
5000.
witchcraft to me.
Well, it's made by the guys that
magique.
do. It's made by the guy Arcade One Up, so they do the mini arcade machines, and it's not quite the same form factor because it's more of like a table.
Yeah, they do 3/4 scale arcade cabinets.
Yes.
Which I always go, oh, that's really cool. And then I see them in real life go, that's too small. I don't want that.
Is that the Arcade One-Up Infinity Game Table?
Yes, but I can't see that name on the post that I'm reading information from. So
it's called the Flange Table 9000.
I have more details up on the site on the top left-hand corner. I'll be confirming details tomorrow. So by the time you hear this podcast, we should have more details up. But it's coming out later this year, and it's going to be on sale at Game, as in the store Game, and available from game.co.uk. And you can come along and try it out for the next week or so in loading. So it should be in there on the Tuesday, and then you should be able to play it for the rest of the week at any point in time. And we'll be doing a competition where if you tweet out about it and use the hashtag that we're going to be putting out there, then you can win a £50 game voucher. So, yeah, that's a very different structure to a Tuesday, but it's a cool prize. It's a cool thing to come along and see. It should be of interest to board gamers, and you can come and actually try one out before you have to spend some money to buy one. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing all round for everyone. So come along and try that out. But if you can't make it on the Tuesday, you still have the chance of playing it, and you still have the chance of entering the competition throughout the whole week. So there's a whole week of Tabletop Tuesday this week. So there you go.
Lovely.
Man, I've just found its listing on Game. That is one expensive table.
Yeah, yes. They are pretty pricey usually.
They're £900 of table.
Yeah, I always get jealous of the kind of American retail stores and stuff when I see it on Twitter and they find one-up stuff for $200 in a clearance compared to what they charge at cost. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to episode 505 of the Big Red Barrel UK podcast, or BRB UK, if you are so well inclined. If you have enjoyed this show, then please let us know you can go over to iTunes or it's not called iTunes anymore. It's called Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spotify or any of those different services that allow you to leave us a review, and do so. Leave us a nice review and tell us what you think, and we'll read it. We might read it out on the show as well. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so on bigredbarrel.com. There we have a comment section under the post for this here podcast. We also have a link to our Discord on that website. And available in the show notes, there's also links to the website and Discord and our social medias, which are twitter.com/BigRedBarrel or @BigRedBarrel, Facebook.com/BigRedBarrel, and soon to be on YouTube, no longer more Big Red Barrel TV. I've finally cracked it.
What?
Big Red Barrel.
What?
Hopefully, fingers crossed, by the time this episode comes out, Big Red Barrel on YouTube.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 less letters for you to type. You
I've-
lucky
I've-
scamps.
Well, I just wanted it in keeping with all the other social medias. It made sense. I found the problem, by the way. Someone created a Big Red Barrel channel way before I started a Big Red Barrel, and I had no idea it existed.
Oh, well,
I
there we go.
kept
That's
on meaning to tell you this off mic because I was well aware of that. And every
Thanks,
time we brought
Tim.
it up in the show, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll tell Coleman when we're off the show. And then never did.
Left me dangling,
So,
what,
yeah.
7 months before you told me?
Yeah.
Ah, cheers.
Yeah.
Wow. To be fair, that's pretty quick.
I
for
wasn't
Tim.
100% sure that was correct, but I was fairly sure. I was like, I swear we set up 2, and the BRB TV was the alternate one. But yeah.
I was never quite sure. Yeah. Anyway. There we
Anyway.
go.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's your lot. On next week's show, do we make Coleman play Saints Row? I don't know.
I am playing
yet.
Saints Row.
Are you? You
Yeah.
Taking one for the
bastard.
team.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, apparently it's had its day 1 patch and the reviews didn't reflect the day 1. It's going to be bad. I know it's going to
It's
be
going to
bad.
be terrible.
Hopefully I can find some enjoyment out of it.
It's
Yes.
going to be so bad. It might be so bad it's
Bug
good.
hunting.
Although I really want to play more Lamb of God in Arcade Paradise, so we'll see if I actually get around to Saints Row.
See, that's the thing. I really want to play loads more Rollerdrome and loads more Curse to Golf this week. So I don't know that I'm going to have something new to talk about next week, I'm afraid, gentlemen.
Curse to Golf's my travel
Leave that
game.
to
I'm
you.
all good.
Good.
Yeah.
Right, we're gonna go. We have
Take us
done
home, Dan.
all of the things. Read those show notes, click on the links Coleman sent you and told you about. Go buy shirts and things. But all that's really actually left for me to tell you and remind you about is that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I have been Chaos, and also we should wrap up quickly before Tim realised he didn't get to talk about Moonbreaker.
Excellent.
Oh,
So, thank you
I
ever
didn't
so
talk
much for
about
listening.
Moonbreaker.
And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye. Shut up, Tim.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarrel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarrel.com.
Through the streets of Tokyo and just mashing up people. That's really cool. And it kind of, you know, it made me a little bit nostalgic for the times where I was in Spain watching roving wild dogs in the streets at night.